pro-Iranian forces did not cease their attempts to strike Israel. Kamikaze drones were launched from Syria and Iraq, but most of them were intercepted. However, Ansarallah militants fired a Palestine II rocket into Israeli territory. The munition reached the center of the country, where it was intercepted near the settlement of Beit Shemesh. In the Red Sea region, the Houthis resumed strikes against merchant ships and U.S. Navy vessels. The aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln and destroyers USS Stockdale and USS Spruance were attacked with missiles and UAVs, but without consequence. In response, the U.S.-British coalition Air Force struck various parts of Yemen. The targets were Ansarallah positions in several provinces, including Sa'ada, Amran, Al-Hodeidah, and Al-Baida. At the same time, Yemeni militias continued to shoot down U.S. drones. Thus, the Houthis were able to intercept already 13 MQ-9 Reaper UAVs since the beginning of the escalation in Palestine and Israel. Meanwhile, the Israeli Air Force once again struck Syria, hitting targets in Aleppo and Idlib provinces. One of the strikes hit Sarakib, which is on the front line with the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham terrorist group. The Homs province was hit the most, particularly the neighborhood of Al-Qusayr. The targets were checkpoints of the 4th Armored Division of the Syrian Arab Army, as well as ammunition depots for Hezbollah. The Israelis did not ignore the capital Damascus, hitting the Shiite neighborhood of Sayda Zainab. Troops of Iranian-backed pro-government forces and their families are stationed there. U.S. forces also hit Syrian territory, using both artillery and aircraft. There were strikes on Abu Kamal in Deir ez-Zor province, where troops of pro-Iranian factions are also stationed. The U.S. military attacks were in response to almost daily shelling of its bases in the FSA and Kurdish-controlled part of the country. The most frequent attacks were on American positions near the Conoco gas processing plant. The Turkish Armed Forces' air and ground operation against the Kurdistan Workers' Party continued in northern Iraq. 3 Kurdish militias were eliminated during Turkish Air Force airstrikes on Gara.